Каким ты видишь повторный реванш, как он пройдет?
Ну, я думаю, реванш пройдет намного легче, чем первый бой, так как статистика говорит всегда, реванши со мной выходить это очень опасно. Я думаю, мы подтвердим то же самое, что со мной не стоит выходить на реванш.
I definitely fought tougher opponents. The situation itself on that day, the circumstances made him a hard opponent, but I definitely fought people way harder than him.
Да, вполне возможно, что я не буду его переводить. Может, он это делает зря. Ну, пускай делает, готовится. Я, наоборот, хочу, чтобы он подходил к этому бою на 100% готов, чтобы у него не оставались вопросы по поводу поединка, чтобы не было таких разговоров, как в прошлом бою, что не был готов или что-то было не сделано. Я хочу, чтобы он подошел в хорошей форме и после нашего поединка, чтобы у него не было оправдания.
Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev are back in the headlines, and the MMA world can't stop talking about it. Magomed Ankalaev has shaken up the MMA world with his bold words about the upcoming rematch against Alex Pereira. The Russian powerhouse made headlines by saying he expects the fight to be easier than the first time, which already got fans buzzing.
Каким ты видишь повторный реванш, как он пройдет?
Ну, я думаю, реванш пройдет намного легче, чем первый бой, так как статистика говорит всегда, реванши со мной выходить это очень опасно. Я думаю, мы подтвердим то же самое, что со мной не стоит выходить на реванш.
Ankalaev didn't stop there. He doubled down on his confidence by saying he's ready for any version of Alex Pereira. Whether Pereira comes in aggressive, cautious, or tries to switch up his style completely, Ankalaev insists he will be fully prepared. He believes there's nothing Pereira can show him that he hasn't seen before.
Все может быть. Я буду делать все, чтобы доминировать. Если бороться, надо будет бороться, биться стойки. Я думаю, у нас не будет проблем нигде.
To further drive his point, Ankalaev explained why this rematch is necessary in the first place. According to him, he doesn't want anyone saying his first victory came because of luck or special circumstances. He wants to prove once and for all that he's the better fighter, not just someone who happened to get the right opening.
Да, вполне возможно, что я не буду его переводить. Может, он это делает зря. Ну, пускай делает, готовится. Я, наоборот, хочу, чтобы он подходил к этому бою на 100% готов, чтобы у него не оставались вопросы по поводу поединка, чтобы не было таких разговоров, как в прошлом бою, что не был готов или что-то было не сделано. Я хочу, чтобы он подошел в хорошей форме и после нашего поединка, чтобы у него не было оправдания.
On the other hand, Alex Pereira strongly disagreed with Ankalaev's version of the story. According to Pereira, the first fight wasn't about Ankalaev being better, it was about the circumstances of the fight. He feels the problems he faced weren't due to Ankalaev's skill, but external factors that worked against him. Pereira believes that when both men meet again under normal conditions, things will be completely different.
I definitely fought tougher opponents. The situation itself on that day, the circumstances made him a hard opponent, but I definitely fought people way harder than him.
But here, Kjell Sonnen came in with a tough question that got everyone's attention. Sonnen openly asked why this fight is even beneficial in the first place. According to him, fans don't really want to see it, and the UFC isn't gaining much by running it back. In his view, a rematch doesn't push the division forward and might actually stall momentum.
If he wins, to be positive on the Alex Pereira side, would you drop the belt and go up? Or
No.
I mean,
No, they won't let him.
Stick around and fight the winner of Prochazka and Roundtree, or
No, he's not going to be in there with Prochazka again, most likely. Who's awesome, by the way.
yeah, of course.
But he's just not going to be in there with him again. But therein lies a part of the problem. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I don't know what Ankalaev gets if he wins. He already beat him. Nobody asked for this rematch, including Pereira. Ankalaev asked for it. It was a little bit odd. Ankalaev actually got a little bit nasty, calling, but come fight me. It's like, he just did. What is it that you planned that you're bringing the belt this time? I mean, it really was a little bit of a confusing situation. And then to your point, what happens if he comes and picks it up? Well, the right thing to do would be to go to the trilogy. So now you're telling me we not only got to see him fight Ankalaev again, which we didn't want the first time. We didn't ask for it this time. Now you're telling me we might have to see it for 10 more rounds. I'm just sharing. I think it creates more problems than it solves. That's what I think.
Kale's doubts were echoed by none other than Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who agreed with the idea that the first fight wasn't exactly a spectacle. He admitted that it turned out to be boring compared to what people expected. That's a harsh but honest assessment coming from one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. I felt it was very anticlimactic. Like when the fight was over, I was like, God, that was it? Was that 5 rounds? So is it over? And when I think like that, I feel that Ankalaev played a very, very smart strategy game. Meaning that when you look at Alex Pereira, he has 2 ways to go about his fight. Look at all his fights. Even from the Sean Strickland to the Izzy Adesanya to Khalil Roundtree, Yuri Prohaska, both those fights. You look at all those fights, it always starts off by the leg kick. He wants a reaction.
Dana White himself added to the narrative when he addressed the fight in the post-fight press conference. The UFC president admitted that he expected a lot more from their first meeting and that it didn't live up to the hype. Dana's words carry weight because he's not just the promoter, but the man who helped sell the fight in the first place.
It was, not what I expected. I expected a lot more shooting, expected a lot more exchanges.
Clearly, we don't matchmake on fight night, but a fight that close with a champion as great as Pereira has been, do you lean towards immediate rematch?
Probably.
Sonnen continued by adding another angle to his argument. He said that while a win for Pereira in the rematch would be a huge success for him, a loss could be devastating. In his view, Pereira risks far more than Ankalaev because losing again could damage his reputation as one of the UFC's most dangerous strikers.
He beat him at his own game, but Pereira is under a lot of pressure here. He's got to come out, he's got to be aggressive, he's got to go forward. If he's going to get that belt back and get some pride back, he's got to win this fight. Because if he doesn't, this might be the last time we see him fight in the UFC. We saw him have a bit of a meltdown on Twitter recently when something didn't go his way. I forget the exact tweet, what it was, but you know what I'm talking about if you follow the sport. And now he's talking about potentially fighting for karate combat. He's talking about potentially boxing. He's made an absolute fortune. He's left his mark on the sport. But if he beats Magomed Ankalaev, then of course, forget about all those conversations. He's going to be staying in the UFC. And he'll probably fancy his chances against Tom Aspinall at some point down the line.
Fans, however, have been quick to push back against the idea that Pereira's career could fall apart with another loss. Many argue that Ankalaev himself has hinted multiple times about moving up in weight classes, which could open up opportunities for Pereira even if he falls short. According to this perspective, Pereira's star power and highlight reel knockouts will always keep him relevant. As long as he's in the UFC, people will tune in to watch him fight. However, if Pereira loses again, there is speculation that Chimaev could move up and fight Ankalaev instead. Khamzat has already admitted openly that he would be very interested in such a matchup, and given his popularity, the UFC would likely support it. For Pereira, this would be a nightmare scenario. Not only would he lose a rematch, but he'd also lose his place in the spotlight if Ankalaev suddenly got paired with one of the most marketable fighters in the game.
Ankalaev and Alex Pereira, they are fighting now. Who is winning and fight for that belt as well. To get the big things is not that easy, Everything is hard, how to work for that. But I realized it really long time ago. You work hard, you get good, go up, take the belt.
Ankalaev himself fueled the fire by admitting he would be open to fighting Khamzat if the opportunity came. That revelation made things even more tense because it showed that Pereira's fears of being pushed out of the spotlight are not unrealistic. If Ankalaev beats him again and then fights Chimaev, the UFC's attention would shift away quickly. That would leave Pereira on the outside looking in, and for a champion who prides himself in being one of the most talked about fighters in the sport, that could be crushing.
Как тебе выступление Хамзата Чимаева? Он сейчас стал чемпионом 84 килограмма. Как тебе бой против Дюплеси?
Да, Хамзат, я поздравляю его с этой победой. Он показал, насколько он мощный, что он может над сильным бойцом. 5 раундов доминирует в борьбе. Я думаю, это нелегко. Он это заслужил. Мои поздравления.
Хамзат допускал переход 63. В теории допускаешь вот такой поединок против Хамзата?
Не знаю, я пока на этом дивизионе, если кто-то захочет перейти, оспорить мой пояс, я всегда говорю добро пожаловать. Нету проблем. Если перейдет, нету проблем.
Still, not everyone is buying into Ankalaev's confidence or these nightmare scenarios for Pereira. Plenty of fans and fighters are backing Pereira to win the rematch, and Sean Strickland was one of the first to speak up in support of him. Strickland praised Pereira's skill set and mental toughness, saying he believes Alex can make the adjustments needed to take Ankalaev out this time.
Ankalaev is just so good. I think a couple things. I think Alex has a great chance of beating him in the rematch. I think Alex goes too hard. I mean, how many title defenses did he have? Going up and down weight classes. Where Ankalaev rides the bench for a certain amount of time. Being that active and none of that being a superstar. No one knows who Ankalaev is. Ankalaev walks down the street, no one knows who the guy is. Alex is a superstar. He can't leave his house without someone saying, "Oh, there's Alex, should we take a picture?" It kind of takes a toll on the mind. Where, you take Ankalaev, who just lives in a cave somewhere. I don't even know where the guy's from, but dude, he probably lives in a cave somewhere and just, he doesn't have to deal with the same pressures of being famous as you do in the U.S. So I think Alex, if he just takes a step back.
Brennan Schwab joined in on that same wave of support, saying he's picking Pereira to win the rematch. Schwab believes Pereira's striking power and ability to end fights in an instant will play a bigger role this time. He also argued that the pressure is now on Ankalaev to back up all his talk, while Pereira simply needs to be himself and fight without hesitation.
If you don't have Alex win this fight 1-3-5, you ain't shit. You ain't shit Mondays. If you don't have Alex win the third, I'll debate with you. I get it, but I can debate a winning round for Alex. 1-5, if you don't have Alex winning 1-5, you don't know the fucking sport. So for Alex, you're that scared of getting taken down by this guy who's never finished anybody? Doesn't even do ground and pound? You don't have faith in your skill set that you can get back to your feet? You gotta sit down your fucking punches, man. How else are you gonna beat him? But again, still thought he won the fight. Even with that terrible game plan and having this terrible fear of getting taken down, it's a nightmare for the UFC that he won. A nightmare. Look at Dana's face. You can tell by his face. He's looking at Bruce Buffer and he just goes, fuck. It's a nightmare that Ankalaev's champ.
Former champion Dricus du Plessis added another layer of support for Pereira. DDP praised Alex's entire journey, highlighting the way he rose through the ranks with determination and fighting spirit.
I know he's a bit older, but the man looks incredible. He is, for me, one of the greatest combat athletes that's ever walked the earth. Just in general, what he's been able to do in the sport in such a short period of time.
Ilia Topuria and Joe Rogan also spoke highly of Pereira, pointing to his sheer tenacity and willpower. Topuria, as a rising champion himself, sees Pereira as a fighter who embodies what it means to never back down. Rogan, on the other hand, has always been a fan of Pereira's knockout ability and composure in tough moments.
Intense. Yeah. He's so serious. Yeah, he's intense. I remember watching him fight for the first time in Glory in kickboxing, and I was like, Jesus Christ. This weight KOs people. I was like, this guy is different.
Huge.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course, none of this takes away from the fact that Ankalaev looks absolutely locked in ahead of this fight, and recent sparring footage showed him in incredible shape, moving with sharpness and strength that made fans take notice. He doesn't just look ready, he looks like a man preparing to dominate. What do you think? Does Pereira get his revenge, or does Ankalaev prove the first fight was no accident? Drop your predictions below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more breakdowns.